What's up, y'all? Welcome to part 2 of the Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller series. If you guys are just jumping in here and you missed part 1, do yourself a favor and go back and watch that before watching this video. It will set you up for greater understanding and success with this material. It was really juicy. This one's going to be juicy as well. I can't wait to jump into it with you. In today's video, I will be walking through with you all of the SB7 framework and how you can apply it to your business specifically. So it's kind of like a mini workshop that we'll be doing. And if you stay till the end of it, I will be giving away a free guide that walks you through it as well. So if you just have 10 to 15 minutes right now to watch this video, don't fret. You'll still get a better understanding to how to apply this information to your business, and then you can come back to it later and work through the guide and workshop that I give away for free at the end. Or if you want to share it with your coworkers or your co-founder or any entrepreneurs that you know, I would absolutely love that. My name is Lucy Vincent, and I come out with new videos every Tuesday with the best and most up-to-date advice and tips on all things marketing, entrepreneurship, and mindset. And I would love it if you guys find value in my content, if you hit the beautiful subscribe button right below this video, as well as the bell so you're notified every time I come out with new content, which is every Tuesday, so you can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in marketing, entrepreneurship, as well as mindset. All right, let's jump right in. So, as I mentioned in the first video in this series, I actually had the opportunity to watch Donald Miller present live after reading his book, How to Build a Storybrand, which has been one of my favorite business books over the last year and a half. I've read it multiple times. I have it both hard copy and Audible because I like to be able to flip to certain parts if I need to or re-listen while I'm driving. It's really packed with powerful information for how to build a successful brand through storytelling. And when I got to see him live as well, I saw him at a Tony Robbins Business Mastery event, and Tony brought on some of the most incredible speakers out there. And Donald was by far my favorite. He just reaffirmed that he knows what he's talking about, and this framework that I'm going to walk you through today is so powerful. So I can't wait to jump right into it. Step 1 in the SB7 framework is the customer. The customer always, hands down, has to be the hero of your story. So many entrepreneurs that I know like to make themselves the hero, or service providers. They like to show themselves as the hero for their customer. But really, you never want to be the hero. Your customer is always going to be the hero of your story. In this first step, you also have to focus on how your product or service solves one core human desire for them. If you're thinking, what? You need to go back and watch the first episode in this series because it talks all about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs and the basic human needs that we all have. You have to know how your product or service can solve one basic human need and talk about that. A lot of times people try to just list out all their benefits on their website, and it gets really confusing and a little boring if I'm being honest, right? Like, you just don't want to go to a website that has text over text. We have small attention spans. So if somebody can talk about how they're able to solve or help one core human need, either help me survive or thrive, I am already more interested. So your customer must be the hero, and you must know how your product or service helps solve one basic core human need. All right, step 2 is the problem. You must vilify your customer's issue. Let's say you have a time management app. We're going to vilify the fact are distractions. Distractions are the villain that customers are dealing with that's making them feel like they don't have enough time for themselves or for others because they're too busy scrambling all the time, trying to catch up because they're constantly distracted. So you're going to want to show how the problem is a villain for your ideal customer. If you're a coach, a success coach, maybe it could be distractions also. And how is that stopping your customers from being successful? You want to vilify an internal problem, really. An external product or service does so much better and is more successful when its messaging talks about how they can solve an internal problem. So embarrassment or lack of connection, loneliness, bad, poor relationships. If you can bring your product or service back to how it can solve an internal problem for your customer, you'll be so much more successful. Rather than saying, yeah, we paint houses, if you can say, get over the embarrassment or never feel the embarrassment ever again of having the ugliest house on the block, be proud of your home and be able to invite family and community over to cultivate relationships, what messaging is going to stick in your mind more and what's going to be more impactful for you? I think if I ever needed to have my house painted, or next time I do, I'm going to go with option B rather than just we paint houses. So comment below. Do you think comment A or B is a better message for a house painter? Let me know. I can't wait. Step 3 is a guide, and that's where you come in. A guide. You want to present yourself not as a hero, as we already said, but as a guide for your customer. In order to present yourself as a guide, you must do 2 things. 1, you must be authoritative, and 2, you must be empathetic. If you've done the previous step of vilifying a problem well, you've already shown empathy and understanding and connection. So next we need to tackle authority. How are you going to show that your people should trust you and listen to what you have to say? Well, there's a number of ways that you can do this. You can show awards, testimonials, press, even blog posts, just education that you've done, anything like that. Any certificates that you've gotten, video testimonials are definitely really, really impactful, and that's something that you're going to want to have and make sure that you're asking for the testimonial. But in order to become a guide, you must be empathetic and authoritative. And I've now given you both the ways of becoming empathetic and showing that you understand your customer and an authority figure. So let's jump on to the next phase. The 4th step of the SB7 framework is the plot. You have to be extremely specific with what your customers need to do in order to get the solution that they're looking for. So if you're a coach, do they need to fill out an application? And then if they're qualified, book a call. And then if they're qualified after that, they'll be offered a place in your one-on-one or group coaching. Or if you are, painting a house, let's go back to this example because we've been using it strong for these last video plus. So if you paint a house, do people need to book a call to get a quote, to put down a deposit, to get their house painted? What is the sequence that needs to happen in order for them to accomplish what they're looking for and to solve their problems? So you need to be very specific and clear about how they can start to work with you, and that's the plot. 5th is a call to action. We have to understand that customers see more than 3,000 advertisements a day. By now, we are so good at blocking out advertisements that we don't even recognize sometimes when we're passing by them. So you need to be very specific and clear about the call to action that you want your customers to take. Is it to book a call? Is it to sign up now? Is it to subscribe to your email list? What is the specific action that you want your customers to take and that they need to take in order to work with you and solve their problem? 6 is failure. You need to clearly show how your product or service can help your customers avoid the failure that they are worried about, the problem that they have. If you're a coach, maybe you say, if you decide not to move forward with us in 4 years and 5 years and 6 years, are you going to be okay with being in the same place? Are you going to still be okay with feeling disconnected and not having meaningful relationships? Or if you're a house painter, just vilify the fact that they talk about the failure, that people are no longer going to want to have you part of their community. They're going to wish you were not a neighbor of theirs. They're not going to share eggs with you. Sugar, forget about it. Paint the picture very clearly about what failure will look like for them, because there was actually a study done in 1979 by a man named Daniel McConaughey. I believe I could be pronouncing that wrong, so please correct me if you know. But he did a study that showed that people are actually more likely and more interested in avoiding failure than achieving success or gains. So you need to be very clear about how your product or service can help people avoid failure. And the seventh and final step of the building a story brand is success. You need to be able to very clearly paint what your customer's life will look like once they've solved their issue. You know, what does success look like for them? If you have a time management app, they're able to get more work done in the same time frame if they're an entrepreneur, or if they're able to get 3 additional hours per day to themselves to spend with their family, their kids, to cook meals. You know, be very clear about what success looks like for your existing clients and for your potential clients. And those are the 7 steps to building a story brand that are so impactful. I hope you found this really helpful for you. I hope you took a ton of notes. If you've gone along with me and done the work while we've been here, good job. I'm very proud of you. If you took notes or, you know, just had a few minutes to watch this video but want to go through the entire thing together, I've created a guide that's below in my description that you can download that will help walk you through it. As always, I would absolutely love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and click the bell right down below so you're notified next time I come out with new content, which is every Tuesday, so you can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in marketing, entrepreneurship, as well as mindset.